Hey guys, I'm back. It's time for another Monday vid. I think I'm just gonna talk about my spirituality or my religion, whatever you want to call it, in this one. But first, I just want to go over the past week. The live stream went pretty well. I streamed all day from like 11 to like 10 at night on Thanksgiving. It was nice. I think I got like one real follower, some random viewer, and then a few hours later, some scammers or something showed up, which was I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. One joined, and I started talking to him, and he was trying to like sell me some stuff, and then next thing I know, five more joined, and it was like a party of all these like spamming scammers trying to sell AI art. So I don't know. I wasn't gonna spend any money, so I just kind of talked in circles with them, cause why not? And then eventually, I don't know. I blocked them. That's what I ended up doing because I was talking to the first person, and I was like, "Look, I don't have any money for this. I'm not gonna buy anything." And they replied, and they were like, "Okay, well, when you get your next check, you can pay then." And I was just like, "No, this is not. I don't think you get the memo. Stop being so pushy." So I blocked them all and made chat rules to not solicit and try to sell your crap. But other than that, it went good. I played Hollow Knight all day. I do have a video from the beginning of it, but I turned my mic volume up. I guess in my last video, it was like a 5-minute video. You could see that. I used a gain setting to turn my mic all the way up. And it was just really loud, like way louder than I intended it to be. So I'm probably not going to upload that video. Sorry. I saw 2 inches of snow on the weather screen. And it's snowing. So, yeah. Don't really love the snow, honestly. It's cold and I don't have good snowshoes. But that's how it goes. Anyways, yeah, that went good. And then, other than that, my week hasn't been, or like the past week hasn't been doing very socially, you know what I mean? Just not a lot going on with my one friend or anyone else outside of that. But it's nothing I'm not used to, so it's whatever. And then, like 2 days ago, or yeah, 2 days ago, I heard this song by Ween, and it just like instantly fell in love with it. And since then, I've listened to all of their albums and one EP because I've never really explored them. I knew some songs by them, but never really explored them before, and I'm fucking in love. So I've been pretty happy about that. Check out Ween. You know, if you don't like Ween, then you haven't heard enough Ween yet. That's what I think. The song that got me into him though is "Birthday Boy." It's just so brashly fucking loud, and I like the song concept, what it's about too. I relate. So yeah, I keep going back to that song, but I made a playlist with everything that has any kind of like distortion or crazy thing going on in it. And that was really fun. So I've been listening to that at work. But yeah, I've actually had in my past 2 different opportunities to get into Ween because people around me were either telling me to or they got into it themselves. at this pizza place I worked at, I remember two of the people one night trying to get me into Ween, and all I said was, I'm not crazy about Ween. And they took it as an insult, and I was like, I don't mean that as in, like, I don't like them. I just mean, like, I don't love them. Like, I'm not super into them. That's really all I meant. And then I didn't get into them, so that was my loss. And then the next opportunity was with my ex, of course. Within the last, like, 6 months that we were together, she got into Ween really heavy and made a playlist. But her playlist was just, like, albums. You know what I mean? Like, you just go in and paste the whole album into your playlist. To me, that's just, I don't know. I've been trying to practice a, like, do what you will kind of thing. Just accept what people are doing. Because people be doing whatever they fucking want anyways. But for me, if I'm making a playlist, I really like a discography kind of playlist. I like to go through all the songs and pick the ones out that I like or that fit the category of what I'm making. So I like my playlist better, but whatever, man. Nuna. Sorry, my cat is going crazy. Needs attention. Anyways, yeah, Ween's awesome. But I didn't get into Ween that time either. And I'm trying to think of what, other than Ocean Man, I don't think I really recognized any songs by Ween that I knew. Which is funny, because that's kind of what I based my my knowledge off of when I said I wasn't crazy about them. I was like, yeah, Ocean Man is cool, whatever. But it's there's so much more than fucking Ocean Man. And yeah, once again, my loss every time I rejected it. But I'd like to say I was saving it for this perfect moment, which was this past week, or the past 2 days, really. So yeah, really, really fucking love Ween now. And also, there were a bunch of songs that I knew by Ween that I just didn't know were Ween songs. Like all of White Pepper, basically. I had someone in my past, probably at that pizza place or somewhere else, I don't remember, but someone played that album because it was like, it's in my head. And when I started listening to it, I was like, holy shit, this is them? I didn't even know that. So yeah, but they're so cool and so varied. Anyways, that's that. I'm also supposed to be starting school today, but I think I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow because it's not letting me start yet. And there was like an alert that says like, for people starting, there's like a processing thing, so it takes some time before you can actually start your courses. So I can't do anything with that, unfortunately, at least not right now. But I am looking at the classes and doing what I can with them, at least for today. But that's all of that. So getting into my religion, my spirituality, whatever, I don't know what I call it. I've kind of combined some things and made it work for me. Really, it's like I know my beliefs, and I looked up different beliefs to see what I would call it if I had to call it to someone, but my beliefs are my beliefs. It's not like there's this thing and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, I believe in it. No, I already believe in these things, and there's a specific way to describe it and what to call it. And what I call that is omnistic nihilism, which is really fucking stupid, I'll say. But that's the way I would call it. Omnistic nihilism. A nihilist that believes in everything. Which, I don't know. Some people probably say that doesn't exist, but here I am. So, yeah. And I hate it too because I feel like I can't talk to anyone. In a way, it's like I can talk to everyone about religion and spirituality and whatever people believe or subscribe to. But I can't tell them what I believe in because it's just so offensive to any one religion or belief path. Because I feel like a lot of belief paths kind of box you into one thing. And so you're like, I believe this, so I don't believe anything else. And my belief is to believe in all of it, in a way. I don't know if it's exactly that I believe in everything. I don't really know what I mean. But what I say oftentimes is like, I have faith in everything. And I think everything has merit. So that's what I mean by believing in everything. But anyways, a little backstory about me for religion. As a young kid, I just wasn't really religious. I guess my mom was like Christian, but she didn't go to church. She was just like weirdly Christian, like kind of in like a suppressed way. Like it wasn't obvious, but then she would use it against me sometimes. Like I remember one time I ended up going to a church. That's what happened. I went, and not really church, but a youth group, because all my friends went to it. So I was like pseudo-Christian for my junior high years. And then when I got uncomfortable with it or didn't want to be in it anymore, I told my mom that I just wasn't a Christian anymore. And she was like, okay, then you can't celebrate Christmas. So that's what I mean. And I didn't give a fuck. I was like, cool. Not celebrating Christmas then. Boo. Whatever. But that's what I mean by her being like weirdly offended and weirdly Christian. Is like it would just pop up in moments where it was convenient for her to be shitty to me. That's the best way I could explain it. So I don't think it's really something that she actually cared about. And then now, fast forward to the present, she has like fucking God tattoos and shit. Which I don't want to get into that too much, but in terms of her, I'm just saying that's not saving her. That shit does not, it's whatever. But if you believe in it, I believe in it. So, cool. But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I just got uncomfortable with church, and a lot of it, I guess, was like, and this is a kind of specific thing, but whenever I was praying, whenever the group was praying in youth group and I had to put my head down and close my eyes, it was just like, I was just very distracted, and it was just like bothersome to me. Like I couldn't focus and just stay in the prayer, I guess. I wasn't present to that. And I don't know, I was just like weirded out by how I couldn't focus on that. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I stopped going. And then I guess maybe for like a very short while, I was just nothing. Like an atheist. But eventually I stumbled onto this video. Let me find it. Let me find the script for it. Yeah. you want to watch it, the video's still on YouTube. But it just like instantly changed my life in a weird way and converted me to nihilism. Although in the moment I didn't know that's what it was. But it's Bill Hicks, It's Just a Ride. Look that up on YouTube. I might even put a link to it in the video, in the description. But I'll read it here, so you won't even have to watch it. He's a comedian, if you don't know. And a very funny one, I like him. But kind of like a dark, funny, I don't know. I really like Bill Hicks and George Carlin, so do with that what you will. But here's the transcript for It's Just a Ride. The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and around, and it has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud. And it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. Ever notice that? And we let the demons run amok. But it doesn't matter because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no worry, no job, no savings and money. Just a choice, right now, between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your doors, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see us all as one. I don't necessarily think about that. Just a side note there. But anyways, finishing it off. Here's what we can do to change the world right now. Honestly, that part's just kind of political, but yeah, that's basically it. And I don't know, I found it at a very perfect time to change my life. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. It's just a ride. Don't worry about whatever, because in the end, it was just a ride. And I don't know, it was very, very eye-opening for me, but I think it pushed me towards a certain open-mindedness and a freedom that I didn't find in Christianity at the time, or any other religion, I guess, because I wasn't interested in following any other ones after I stopped being a Christian, although I hardly was one to begin with. And yeah, it just kind of pushed me towards open-mindedness, which the omnistic nihilism that I believe in right now is, to me, my ultimate form of open-mindedness. And that's why I subscribe to it. But it just kind of made me realize, like, yeah, this whole life thing is not that serious. And honestly, I could always learn from that sentiment and apply that to my life, because I worry about a lot of things, but mostly just like the one thing that matters to me, getting in a relationship. Will I ever find love again? And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, at the end of my life, it doesn't matter. It just ends. And that was that. And then I'm on to the next thing, whatever it is. But I have a hope for where I want to go. Anyways, yeah, it doesn't matter. And there's a certain comfort in that, to me at least. Because if it doesn't matter, if none of this matters, then you don't have to subscribe to what everyone around you tells you matters. Like a job. Yeah, in a way, yeah, you have to have a job to survive, but like, you know what I mean? Sticking to societal norms is not something that you have to worry about if you don't think any of it matters anyways. And that gives you freedom to focus on what's important to you. That's why I like it. Because it just pushes you towards finding yourself and what's important for your life and being like, just do that. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter either. So have fun, enjoy it, but don't get too wrapped up in it, I guess. That's what I would say about life right now. Have fun, enjoy it, just don't get too wrapped up. And that is definitely something that applies to me right now, and I need to be following, and I'm not following at all, unfortunately. I'm very wrapped up in life. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying it. I'm doing the opposite of what I believe in, which sucks. And whenever I talk to other people, I try to push them towards these ideas. But I've struggled a lot pushing myself towards them, even though I so easily believe in them. But yeah, I don't know. It just makes me think of like people around me. I try to, whenever they're upset with something, I don't fight, I don't push them, I just try to comfort them and go a step further and be like, hey, not only are you not messing up at this stage of life, whatever you're in, but take some time for you and just go out and have like a really good fucking day. I try to take that extra step and be like, you're missing the point entirely. Just enjoy. And if you're stressed out this much, then you need to have a fucking day, at least a good day. Just go out, hang out with your friends, if you have friends. If you don't, do what is fun to you, and do what matters to you. At least for a little bit. At least invest in that a little bit. Don't fall down the rabbit hole of what everyone else wants you to be, because you lose yourself that way. I didn't mean for this to be a whole like philosophical fucking video, but it's my spiritual beliefs, so I guess it's gonna be kind of like that. And it's not really a religion, but I do believe in a deity, kind of. Anyways, hopefully my voice sounds a little better. I needed some fucking water, man. Just worked the last 7 days. Gotta work the next 7. And then the next 5 after that. So that's at least 19 days in a row of work before I might have a day off. But they'll probably call us for that Saturday, so we might get 20 days of work in a row. It's good money, but god damn, do I want to sleep in. Oh wait, no, we had Thanksgiving off. Holy shit. Forgot about that. So I'm not gonna do the math, but it's less dramatic than I thought it was. We had Thanksgiving off. Whoa. Fuck, the next day we might have off is... I wouldn't be too surprised if it's fucking Christmas Eve. Our next holiday. Anyways. Yeah, it was just like a really rough time in my life when I found that video. I think 2 years before that, my grandpa died. I think I talked about that in the Draw My Life video, but that video was so fucking terrible that, Yeah, I'm sorry for that. It's so bad, and it's so such a piss poor explanation of my life in a way. If I could explain it, just do a little bit over right now. I would explain it in eras, and so it's like early childhood era. That's how it starts, and then the stuff between my mom and dad happens, and then it's like early childhood part 2, going up until I guess 2009 when I moved again. And then that's, I called it Y Town in the video, so we'll go with that. The Y Town era, part 1, making new friends. And that time wasn't too bad. All these first 3 really weren't too bad for me. I guess, I don't know. But then you get up to about the end of the Y Town part 1 thing would be probably when my grandpa died. Because he was just killed in a horrific way. He was like mugged outside of a steakhouse in this very small town that he lived in. So everyone knew everyone kind of thing. And or it wasn't that he was mugged, like robbed. He was jumped by multiple people who literally beat him to death, and then like pulled out all his fucking teeth or something. Some gruesome shit like that. And at 12 years old, I was told all of those details. Along with the fact that, or I guess it's not a confirmed fact, but the theory that his wife was the one that orchestrated this whole thing. So, not my like blood grandma, but I guess my like grandma-in-law, because they were married. Yes, I don't know. I don't know what you call that. But I knew her. So, that was jarring to hear. And I don't think she was at the funeral. And so, yeah, I heard this horrific way that my family member that I was very close with and loved, I heard the horrific details of his death. And then from that funeral, going there, seeing how devastated everyone was, my uncle especially, because his last words to his dad were, it just wasn't a positive ending. They were like fighting, and then that happened, so he never got a chance to end on a good note because it was a sudden death, a murder. But everyone was just so devastated, and I was fucking devastated. But I don't know exactly why I came to this conclusion. I think it was just from seeing everyone else crying and just being so broken by it. I got in the car, and I'm 12 years old. Got in the car to go home, and the main thought on my mind was, I'm not gonna cry anymore. Which I don't even remember crying too much as a kid, but I probably did. But literally from that point on, which that would have been in 2012, until 2021, when I got with my ex, I did not cry at all. And really, I wasn't too emotional. I became very depressed. So that's the next era. After the like Y Town part 1. And there's really, I guess you could separate it into part 2. But it's just Y Town, like making friends. The beginning of Y Town, we'll call it that. That era. And then the Depression era. That's all it was. My 9-year fucking depression. Which then continued as soon as I broke up with my ex. but it got worse. So, but yeah. So I was already kind of feeling that way, and then like 2 years later, after the thing with my grandpa dying, I found that Bill Hicks video right after not wanting to be a Christian anymore, or go to church at least. So it was just like a perfect storm for me. I was very suggestible in that sense, and I was looking for something that wasn't just believe in this God, and I won't even say, I won't gender the gods. Believe in this God and they will make it all right for you. I needed something a little more tangible than that. And this Bill Hicks It's Just a Ride thing was just like fucking revolutionary and mind-blowing to me. I was like, holy shit. That is my solace. When nothing else is working, that works. Just knowing that it's all just a ride. So that's how I got to that point. And then I started kind of developing my beliefs from that. And I didn't know what to call it. I was looking on Google. I was like, what are you if you believe that this is all fake or unimportant in the grand scheme of things? And I fell on this forum about existential nihilism, which I don't even know how that's described. Sorry. I think existential nihilism is just kind of like basic nihilism. It's formed from questioning. It's formed from being existential, I think, which I've always kind of been to a degree. Although I really do believe in this it's just a ride thing. So I don't know why I would be existential. But at that time I definitely was, even after watching that video. I was still like, but what is the point then? You know what I mean? If it's all just a ride, then what the fuck are we doing? And why am I not having fun? And yeah, I don't know. I fell on this forum, existential nihilism. I read about it, and I was like, yeah, that's what that is. That's what I believe in, basically. Just this kind of like nothing matters. And at the beginning, that's all I believed, and it merged, or it paired very well with my depression, because I didn't want some hopeful thing. I was just like, yeah, this doesn't matter. And I don't know why. I kind of just hung there, stayed in the depression, believed nothing matters, and didn't take it anywhere. And I'll say, ever since I've been introduced to the ideas of nihilism, nothing has shaken my belief in that. For better or for worse. It's not always a good thing. And at first, for a while, it wasn't a good thing for me. It, like I said, it paired very well, but it grew my depression era. Because then I became more outwardly that person. And people would talk to me and I'd be like, about things that matter to them, and I'd be like, yeah, nothing matters. So I was that stereotypical shitty fucking nihilist for a while that just couldn't get past that, and couldn't let anyone else think that anything mattered in this world, or this universe, or this existence, or anything. There's not a single thing that matters. That's what I would say. And yeah, that's just super fucking depressing. So base nihilism is just, it's just depressing. And if you are a pure nihilist like that, it's I just don't know what the point is. And I'm not joking. I don't mean that in a fucking joke, but like, shouldn't you just want to die if that's where you fall? Like, what are you just wasting time? Which, I mean, it's all a waste. Death, life, all of it. If you believe in nothing, truly. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really go anywhere from that. And for a while, I was just kind of stuck in that. Up until, honestly, I don't know when I started merging this. I'd say like late college. I've always had like a strong moral ground, which is opposite of what nihilism believes in. But I always had it for me. You know what I mean? And I think that was another thing why I wanted to not be a Christian, is because I was like, I would rather my morality and my beliefs be attached to me and not something that I just believe in because I subscribe to something else. So I needed a belief system that gives me the freedom to figure out what I believe in this world. And that was nihilism for me. That was the freedom. But for the first, I don't know, at least 5 years, it wasn't like that for me. It was just, nothing matters. Fuck it. No point in even trying to figure out anything outside of that. But like I said, I still kept my good moral. Like, I was like, I'm still gonna be a good person. Sure, nothing matters, but I'm not just gonna go around and be a fucking menace to society. I'm not gonna be a dick to random people. I was just very quiet and not just reserved, but really like drawn back from humans. I had a very, and this is another thing I didn't really mention in my Draw My Life video. I had a very dim view of humanity. Because I mentioned the thing with like the 2 girls that like played a prank on me to date me. One of them did, but it was like 2 of them colluding together this whole time. And it was all just a joke on me. So that happened. All the drama between my mom and dad also added to it. And then random drama with my friend groups, which were always very nuclear for whatever fucking reason. Kicking people out and just being extremely toxic. But I guess that's just what kids are. It's literally like fucking Lord of the Flies sometimes. And I hate that book, but it's, I guess, pretty accurate for how kids are. They're fucking ruthless. And I wasn't even like bullied. I was never bullied or anything, which kind of amazes me, because I was definitely like an outcast loser type, but like I said, I was quiet. So there was no reason to fuck with me, really. I wasn't trying. I wasn't going out of my way to get my ass fucking handed to me by random people. And I wasn't being a dick. I was just trying to get through the fucking day. Oh, I need more water. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Hopefully not too long. But yeah, I had a very dim view of humanity going through high school and coming out of it, to the point where my goal in life was to get away from humanity. I wanted to live in the middle of nowhere in the woods, in a place where I was 100 miles from the nearest person, basically. That was what my ultimate plan would have been. And I didn't shy away from it, and I wore that in the sense that I told people that's what I wanted. I was just like, yeah, I don't believe in people, because people are fucking ruthless and assholes and selfish, ultimately. Which, I don't know. I go back and forth on some of those things, but I do think humans are largely selfish. I'm definitely fucking selfish. The one thing I care about is having someone else's love, and I think that's pretty selfish. I don't know. I don't feel like I give a lot, but I'll damn sure take if someone's given. And I do think a lot of people are like that. There's more takers than there's givers. But anyways, had a dim view on humanity. So that also kind of went well with my nihilism and depression. It all kind of just was this spiral of this fucking wasteoid existence that I had throughout my high school years. And I don't know, all of these things that I believed in also gave me an excuse to not try, not engage with people. Like, I had my friends that I was usually getting pissed off with because I felt unimportant to them, I guess. Which is funny looking back now, because I had insecurity issues with my ex, but I had insecurity issues with my friends a lot of the time. And I don't know what it is with, and I still kind of have it. I still struggle with that. I don't know what it is, but when I have a connection with another human, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, anything, I need to feel wanted. I crave it. And it gets me in trouble because I'm constantly looking for these people to prove it. And that's just not a realistic thing to do. And you can't put those expectations on anyone, no matter how close your relationship is. You can't constantly be asking them to prove their loyalty to you. But for whatever reason, my brain or my heart needs that, or wants that. Which, going back to the selfish thing, that is so fucking selfish. But anyways, I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah, I wasn't gonna be a dick to anyone. I had my friends that I was usually kind of pissed off with, but other than that, I was quiet. Towards the last few years of high school, I just had headphones in all the time. Just listen to music and did not engage with people. And then with college, I didn't have a plan with this because I was super nihilistic. So what the fuck would my plan be? My plans in life were, really, I had anti-plans, as in I had last resort type things. That's more of what I had figured out. And it was just be a fucking garbage man, which is also funny because of my first really bad bipolar mania. I became like a type of garbage man. I don't know if those two things are related, but that was my idea in high school. Was I was like, if all else fails, I'm just gonna become a fucking garbage man and pick up trash, and that's it. And I was fine with that, and I'm still fine with that. I would love to be a fucking garbage man. That's besides the point. God damn, my voice is so dry. Sorry, I'm a little sick. from, I got sick after Thanksgiving. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I didn't have any plans in life. Like some great thing that I was going to aspire to be. Had no idea what I wanted to be. Still don't. I've fallen on accounting because, like, that's what I'm planning on getting a degree or two in. Just because that seems to be a place where the money's at, and I can get out of physical labor. But it's not. There's still not a thing that I want to be. And that's the nihilism speaking. The whole it doesn't matter. There's nothing. I'll get into how things do matter to me. But I'll tell you right now, a job does not fucking matter to me. And I don't want to be anything in that sense. The only thing job-wise that I'm passionate about is restoring. And that's why I think why I fall into like garbage man. I like picking up trash. I like metaphorically picking up trash, cleaning up the world in whatever way that means. So that would be something that I'm passionate about. Not just contributing to this fucking mess. Which there's a lot of different types of messes. There's physical messes with the trash in the landfill, so to speak. Or to explain, not so to fucking speak. But also just like the way this world's set up in America, to be America for sure. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting caught on my words. But America is definitely an example of this, where just the way that it's set up is so fucking messy in terms of like being good for humanity or the earth or other living things. It's so anti that. So it's just a huge fucking mess. It's trash. But it's not physical trash that you would pick up. Still needs cleaned up though. And there's a lot of different things in a lot of different areas of life, as it is in 2025, that I would just describe as trash. Let me center the camera. Trash that needs cleaned up. It's metaphorical, meta-fucking physical trash. And I'm passionate about making a world where those things don't exist. But ultimately, I don't have a lot of ability to make it that much better. When I had my super manic moment, I thought I was going to make it better. I was like, yeah, we'll just literally pick up trash. We'll start doing that. And like literal trash, and just cleaning up the world that way. But it'll seep the ideas that I have about cleaning up all this other type of trash with the way society's built and just how it's not. What am I trying to say? It doesn't flow, I guess. It doesn't flow with humans or other living creatures or the earth and how things should be. It destroys those things. And it creates a buildup of trash that eventually is going to fuck things up, probably. But it doesn't matter. That's the thing about nihilism. It just always goes back to it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. That's the one thing that I'm passionate about, is cleaning up messes of a certain type, of any type. I like fixing things, restoring them, making them the way they should be. And even within the world, the way it's built today, I do like restoring parts of that too. Random things, like I like fixing fans. Um, I like troubleshooting things and helping people understand something, fixing a problem for them. And I see all of these things as a type of cleanup. So, metaphysical garbage man, that's what I fucking aspire to be. But I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to fully go into that, and a lot of people would probably consider me crazy. And I am crazy for all fucking purposes. Moving on. Maybe. I'll probably end up spiraling back into all that shit. Sorry. If you watch all these videos at any point in the future or as they're coming out, you already know I ramble. I talk in circles a lot. I haven't really figured out a good groove yet, okay? I think I have like less than 15 videos. I think I have 11. But yeah, coming out of high school, very depressed. Very depressed, very nihilistic. So I had no reason to aspire to anything. The only idea I kind of had was, if all else fails, I'll be a garbage man. That's what I was saying. So I wanted to go to college though, because it was a way out, a way away from my parents or my mom, a way to get out on my own and never look back in a way. Way. Keep saying way. And I really haven't. I would visit the first 2 years. I would like maybe go home to my hometown for the summer. But eventually, pretty soon on, I just stopped doing that and slowly started taking things, more and more things, to where now I have nothing at my mom and stepdad's house. Nothing of me there besides whatever they have for themselves. And I don't go back there. I really try not to. And I'll never go back there to stay. So, that is my past, and I'm not interested in bringing it back. I wish I could say the same about the stuff with my ex. I wish I could see that the same way, but maybe soon. Maybe soon. Anyways, yeah, I had no real plans with college other than I wanted the college experience. I wanted the partying and meeting new people kind of thing. And I got that. That leads into the Depression era, leads into college, which has some mini eras, mainly the drug era for me. I started getting into drugs, different drugs. And I talked about that in my Draw My Life video. Weed was the big one, but also I did a lot of like LSD. I did whippets. Other pseudo psychedelic kind of things. And that was mostly it. I think I like huffed paint once. Because fucking why not? I don't know. And you know what I mean? Like, depression leading into that, that's telltale fucking sign. As old as time, really. And I fell into that. Because I was just trying to distract myself. And, go somewhere. And a lot of times, especially with weed, that got me through the day. Eventually, that kind of broke. But I remember when I worked at the pizza place that I referred to earlier in this video, it was hellish a lot of times. And I've really struggled my whole life with coping with work, I guess. But at the time, weed was what got me through it. I was like, yeah, I don't care what fucking hell on earth I have to go through, because I'm going to go home, get incredibly high, and just get so high that I don't even fucking remember this. And so that was kind of how I was using drugs at this time, is just to distract and put off all the problems I had with the world and with my life and whatever. So there was the mini drug era, and then that kind of just goes into my manic episode, and then the relationship era, and then the super depression era, which I'm kind of getting out of now. So that's, if I had to redo that Draw My Life video, it would be all those things, starting with the early childhood, part 1 and 2, the beginnings of Y-Town, then the depression era, then the drug era within college, and then the manic episode, and then the relationship era, and then the extra depression era. And then now the, I don't know, the working on my fucking mental health and finally trying to deal with some of these problems era. But at some point, I started like really trying to think about what matters to me and my moral beliefs, I guess. And that started to merge with my nihilism. And it wasn't just, yeah, nothing matters, there's no point in anything. It became nothing matters, so the only thing that really should matter is what matters to you. And it's separated from this like objective, nothing matters, and this subjective, here's the things that matter to me. Here's my morals, here's what I want in life. And that never changed. It started to become this, what I called it during my my manic episode in 2021. I called it positive nihilism, which is just focusing on taking the ideas of nihilism and spinning it in a way that helps, instead of just being some incredibly depressing belief. So I focused on the freedom of it. The freedom of like, yeah, there's no inherent purpose that I was born with that I have to believe, that I have to do, that I may not like. There's the purpose that I find, and the joy that I find in this time, in this meaningless time. Because yeah, it is meaningless, but I'm here, so I might as well enjoy it, despite it not fucking mattering in the end. And for a while, I kind of teetered between my old nihilism and positive nihilism. I struggled with it, I guess. And sometimes the more depressing nihilism would come out. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. At least that's kind of what people around me would say. Specifically my ex. I remember her initially not having an issue with my nihilism, because at the time I described it as positive nihilism. But then whenever I had some like shitty opinion on something, she would just be like, that's not positive nihilism. And I'm like, okay, fucking hell, people. I'm not perfect, you know. So I've been accused, since I became a positive nihilist, I've been accused of not following in that. And at the beginning of this video, I kind of said that, where it's like, I don't listen to these lessons enough, and I don't take them to heart, even though it's so easy for me to tell other people that these things are important, and that you should focus on yourself, and listen to your body, and listen to your mind. and do what you want. At least a little bit. Sure, it's not always a good thing to go crazy with that and go 100%. I'm just going to do what's important to me and fuck everything else. That might get you in trouble. But every once in a while, if you're getting wrapped up in life, in the world around you too much, you need to take a moment and just get outside of that and return to you and do something that's important to you, for you. Do that for yourself. I would say, sure, nothing matters, but honestly, it's the most important thing to living a fulfilling life. It's not getting wrapped up in this whole world. It's taking care of yourself and doing things for yourself. You are the only person that's going to be with you for every moment of your life. And so you have to, you kind of do have to be your best friend and give yourself these enjoyable moments. But like I said, I have no problem telling other people these things and pushing them towards that. For example, I hate to bring up my ex on all these, but this one's a pretty good example. Before we were together, when we were just coworkers at the pizza place, she would get stressed about wanting to take a day off and feeling bad for everyone else around, and I was like, stop. Don't worry about what everyone else has got going on. We all got to focus on ourselves and take care of ourselves. You feel like you need time away. I challenge you. I would always do it like this, and this is kind of how I do it with people. Not just her. I would make it sound like a negative thing. Like, I'm challenging you to go home and call off tomorrow. Don't come into work. And this is still going on that example, but with anyone, it's whatever applies to them. If you know that person to some degree, I challenge you, go home, call off work, don't come in tomorrow. She had a really close best friend that she lived with. I was like, spend your day with your best friend, do some fun things that you love doing, do something you've never done before, have the best day that you can have. I was like, I guess another way I phrase it is like, can you do something for me? I want you to have the best day of your life for me. Not from me. Don't do it with me. You don't need, I'm not saying that. It's not about me. But I need you to care about yourself. And it's so easy for me to do that with other people, but for whatever reason, I struggle to do it with myself. I can't be like, hold on, don't worry, it'll be okay. Everything will be fine. The world around you will survive. We'll get on. But take a day and make it the best fucking day you can have for yourself. I just can't do that with myself. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, I became a positive nihilist, which was to... Sorry, this video is so not cohesive and streamlined, but I'm not good at that. I don't edit these, okay? And yeah, with positive nihilism, I was like, okay, well, what matters to me? And, find the things that make it good. Nothing matters, so you have the freedom to do whatever you want with it. putting on some chapstick. You know what I mean, though? If nothing truly matters, then there's no repercussion at the end. Sure, within this tiny little moment that we call our lives, there might be repercussions. But in the real end, it's not gonna matter. So do what you want with it. And if you're not enjoying it, then fuck you. Simple as that. If you're not enjoying what you're doing and not working towards something that matters for you, then what the fuck are you doing? Okay? Fuck you. Because you're screwing it up. And I don't really mean to be harsh like that, but that's what I believe, is like, if nothing matters, then god damn it, you better fucking enjoy it. If you have to be here, then it might as well be worth it, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if that fucking makes sense, but that's kind of what positive nihilism was. And focusing on all the good things. Like I said, even when I was just a regular nihilist and depressing thing, I was like, I'm not gonna be a dick. But then with positive nihilism, I was like, I can take this further. I can be good. I can do good things and put some good into the world. And that really kind of peaked with my manic episode. The picking up trash, that was my ultimate moment in life of not just the picking up trash, but the way I interacted with people. At least people that agreed and followed. Not followed me, but like people that didn't try to tell me I was wrong for whatever I was doing. Because those people I did fight with and argue. But anyone that was okay with what I was doing, I was extremely positive towards. And yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I'm enjoying this. I didn't ask to be born in this world, in this time, with all this shit going on, which there's always shit going on at any point in time. 2,500 years from now, if humanity's still kicking, there's gonna be shit going on there. There was shit going on 2,000 years ago. There was shit going on 50 years ago. There's no ideal time to be born. Being born isn't ideal. But, like I said a minute ago, god damn it, if you're not fucking enjoying it, what the hell are you doing, man? I don't know. So, I have cats. I love that. I love Ween. I love music. I was playing music yesterday. So, those are some things I guess I'm succeeding at in life, is doing those things that matter to me and that I like. But objectively, none of it matters. I'm gonna keep going back to that. Anyways, I'll be right back. Alright. Sorry. I had to switch my cats. Got a little snack. And went to the bathroom. But you guys didn't have to wait for that, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm not going to title this video like this, but if you've stumbled upon the 1 hour and 9 minute mark of this video, and this video has found you, I challenge you, the viewer, to do something. It doesn't have to be some grand thing. It doesn't have to be a whole day if you can't take a day off, but do something for you. And yeah, just really think about one thing in life that you can take a pause and just focus on you and make you happy. Don't do something that's gonna like hurt or hinder someone else you know what I mean? But yeah, do something good for you. So that's my fucking soapbox on that. Going on though, yeah, positive nihilism was kind of a great thing, and I'm glad I found it, where it was like, sure, nothing matters objectively in my belief system. Which side note, I don't think spiritual or religion beliefs are subjective. I think it's an objective belief to the people that believe them. It's not something you control. You know what I mean? And if you really have faith in that idea, then yeah, it's not something you control. It lives outside of you. It's greater than you. And that's kind of how I feel about nihilism in any form, is that it's an objective truth. Not everyone subscribes to that. Most people probably don't, because it's really depressing. But it can be freeing. And so objectively, that's what I find to be true of this existence. Is that in the grand scheme of things, if you zoomed out the picture so far past the solar system, past the universe, past everything, past just plain fucking existence of everything, all of the light in the world, all the stars, all the everything would be so minuscule compared to this vast nothingness. That's kind of where it goes for me now. But around the time that I started becoming a positive nihilist, that's when I started feeling that way. Was that it's an objective truth, because if you zoom out the picture, no matter what exists out there, it all is dwarfed by this vast nothingness that we all exist within. So that's the nothing matters to me now. And that's where it came from, was with positive nihilism. But subjectively, there are many things that matter to me. Many things I want. A lot of them, most of them, probably all of them, are selfish desires and selfish fucking cares. It's kind of selfish to be human. But yeah, I had all these moral beliefs, things that matter to me outside of morals, having cats, embracing love, being not a fucking shitty person. None of these things included a career, unfortunately. I don't have some big thing that I want to aspire to be, like I said. I still don't. Because it just really doesn't matter to me, I don't know. But there are a lot of things that subjectively matter to me, and positive nihilism allowed me to focus on that. So that's kind of where it was, and where it still mostly is. But one of the things that mattered to me that has kind of come up in the past few years that didn't matter at the time that I found positive nihilism is just this embracing of humanity and what it means to be human and what's important to all humans. And not just like all humans as a collective, what's important, but what's important to each and every human. And I think I already kind of had the seeds of that. That's why I want to be a good person. That's why I want to show people and push them towards themselves in a good way and caring about themselves. So I had this care and compassion for humanity in some way, but I just didn't see it. And that is where the omnism comes from. It's really a deep-rooted faith in humanity. Yeah. Basically, I just think anything that's important to a human of in any human, good, bad, indifferent, in anything, good, bad, indifferent, which, because these are all, in a way, arbitrary terms. Although there is some really fucking bad stuff in this world that I personally would never do. But it's interesting, and yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to see all the things that we all find ourselves getting into, and what fascinates us, and what's important to us, and what brings us purpose in life. Each and every one of us, because it's all different. Every story is different. And to be able to accept that, to be able to accept that and really see every person as themselves and as a person that warrants importance within me, I feel like I have to be an omnist. I have to believe in everything. That's the easiest way to understand everyone, in my opinion, is to believe in everything that everyone believes in. And that also is true open-mindedness, in my opinion, is omnism. Believing in everything, even contradictory things. Of course, contradictory things. So that's kind of where I'm at today. And I've been there for, I don't know. I think I realized that's what it was like a few months ago, honestly. Omnistic nihilism. And really, I think it's a beautiful fucking thing. I think it's stupid. I don't want to tell anyone it because I think it's hard to understand. And like I said at the beginning, it's not necessarily that I believe in everything in the sense I don't live that life because I don't know what that life would look like. Although if I could, I would probably live that life of believing in everything. But I consider everything, and I give everything equal opportunity to exist and be important, and it all is important to me. But that's all subjective, and objectively none of it matters. That's what I believe. So that's why I'm an omnistic nihilist and not a nihilistic omnist. Because they're not the same. A nihilistic omnist would be weird. It would be weird to fall into that, because that would mean that objectively you think everything matters, but subjectively you don't care about anything. And that seems painful. That seems like torture. To be in a world where everything is important and you don't care about any of it. But I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. Nothing is important, but I care about all of it. It's all important to me. But just to me. And it doesn't have to be to anyone else. So, when I consider like religions and all that, I believe in everything. I believe in the possibility of everything too. I believe in fucking multiverse theories and shit, so everything could fly. I believe in gods. I just don't think that they're truly all-powerful, I guess. Right? And I don't really refer to it as gods. I just refer to it as divine energy, which I do talk to sometimes, but I wouldn't call it praying. I really just talk to whatever divine energy. This is how I refer to it because I'm fucking extra. If I'm praying, but just like talking, reaching out, I refer to it as the divine energy that is watching over me and guiding me, whatever that may be, because I don't know, you know what I mean? But I do feel like there's something out there looking out for me that is bigger than me, but it's not the ultimate thing. If you zoom it out, it's, in a way, it's like comparing us to an ant is like comparing them to us, kind of thing. That's what I mean. And why would there not be a greater thing? Like, do gods have gods? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Because why would it stop at any one point? You know what I mean? It goes all the way down, and it doesn't just stop. There's probably things smaller than fucking atoms, or whatever the smallest thing is that we've discovered at this point. If you were one of those things, hell, there might be another world of things down below them. So that's what I mean. It's like if it goes that down that way, infinitely, then why wouldn't it go up infinitely in the same way? But then if you zoom it all out, it's nothing in the end. And I don't know. I think that's awesome and beautiful, but whatever. So symbolically, what I've kind of made important to me for my religion of omnistic nihilism are rainbows and solar eclipses, which sounds weird at first, but to me, rainbows just represent everything, because it's just all this light. Light is everything, ultimately, but rainbows are a pretty example of light. And then the solar eclipse represents nothing, because it's blackness blocking out that light, right? It just shows the totality of nothing and its power over everything. So yeah, rainbows and solar eclipses, man. But yeah, that's what I believe in now. It's a form of positive nihilism, because like the positive nihilism never went away, but neither did the basic nihilism. I just used it to my favor for positive nihilism, and then took it even further, so that I could be truly open-minded and really try to understand everyone and what makes them tick, you know what I mean? And also just be compassionate towards everyone. Which, sure, some people might not need all of this extra fucking bullshit to do that, but for me, it aligns with being compassionate for people and all people. I guess that's what it is. It's not that I need to believe in these things to be compassionate for people, but because I feel compassion for humanity and also all living things, really. But because I feel this compassion towards everything, I tried to understand it, and what I've come to is that it's some form of omnism. But I'm a nihilist, so it's omnistic nihilism. But yeah, that's the video. Like I said, if you watch this fucking video, stumble onto it. I challenge you. You have homework. You have a test. I need you to do it. Do something for you. So yeah. I guess it's a good thing the school stuff isn't loading today, because I've kind of wasted a lot of time. But the school doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I become a fucking accountant. It's just another thing. It doesn't matter if this video comes out well. It doesn't matter if anyone watches it. But I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and everyone's gonna keep doing what they do. So I don't know. Que sera, sera. I've been trying to focus on really absorbing that idea too. Whatever will be, will be. But I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna try to love it, whatever it is. I guess that's a good thing that I can personally take from this. And that's another, just reflecting on this whole video, which I really like this topic. I was kind of iffy about making it, but I really like how it came out. Although it's probably a shitty video. But that's something I can take home with me, is that I need to, based on what's important to me and this ultimate open-mindedness and compassion, I need to embrace love. Love for everything. Even things that I shouldn't love. So, I guess starting with the thing that I struggle with the most, the breakup with my ex, I need to love that happened. I need to love where I'm at in life, regardless of where it is, and find a way to not just be content, but love it. So, yeah. I love this shit. I love life. I love all the people in it. I love everything about it. Love is the answer. That is my fucking message from this omnistic nihilist. Love is the answer. Embrace love. And that's all Bill Hicks was saying too, and it's just a ride. What did he say? Let me find it. It's just a ride, and we can change it anytime we want. Just a choice right now between fear and love. So what are you gonna choose, you know? And what's the point in being afraid? So embrace love. Embrace love for things that you shouldn't love. Especially embrace love for things you shouldn't love. Because there's a certain strength to that. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna end it here. I don't know what the next video is gonna be about. Hopefully I'll find a way to make it shorter. I really need to get these down to like 30 minutes, especially with my school shit, because I want to focus on that. At most, I want to take a year to do this bachelor accounting thing. At least, like in the shortest span, I want to do it in 6 months. And if I do it in 6 months, that basically means I have to do 1 class a week, which is very demanding, but I don't know. If I go the other route though, then that's just 1 class every 2 weeks that I have to complete. So I'm gonna be very busy with that, but I'm not gonna stop making videos. Yeah, I don't know if I have a plan for like a smaller video this week. I might do live streaming more on Twitch, because yeah, I don't even know if my post had a link to my Twitch. It was supposed to. It might not have, but that's okay. It's the same name as my YouTube channel, Anon or Die. Yeah, I might just randomly be streaming sometimes when I have free time and I'm not hanging out with my friend, because it's some type of like social outlet and people can pop by, and I enjoy that. But yeah, I'm really glad I made this video, because thinking and talking and explaining my spiritual beliefs has made me like find it again, kind of, and find myself in it. And just what's important to me. Love. And it's not just receiving love, but it's giving love and loving everything. So shit, that's fucking heavy. But I love it. I love that it's heavy. And I love that I have to work 7 days this week. And I'm not even joking. God damn. I love it. Cause it's a lot less painful than hating it, you know? So if you can be there, I guess that's the enlightenment of omnistic nihilism, is just to love everything. So So yeah, I'm gonna end this because I have my guitar here. I'm not gonna sing because I'd fucking suck. Maybe I will. Do 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 do. Oh, ugly. Oh, sorry. When you lie, kiss your baby bye bye bye. But if you're true, the whole wide world will laugh with you. Push the little daisies and make them come up. See you next week.